Well, it is almost 1:32 in New York, and it is time to try something we have never tried before. As you may know, on Thursday nights, I pay a visit to Bill O'Reilly on The O'Reilly Factor. But today, we bring prime time to the daytime, as O'Reilly brings his Kelly File segment right here to America Live. We now join Bill O'Reilly, who at this moment, as you all watch, will tape a piece of tonight's O'Reilly Factor.
Factor follow-up segment tonight. As you may know, we are having a lively debate here at the Fox News Channel about whether the federal court system has screwed up the Westboro Baptist Church case. As you may remember, these fanatics disrupted the funeral of Marine Lance Corporal Matthew Snyder, 20 years old, killed in Iraq. Matthew's family sued and won a jury award, $5 million. But that was overturned by the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals. Now, last night, Ann Coulter agreed with me the appeals court is full of it. Megyn Kelly, however, dissents and joins us now from the set of her program, America Live, seen at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, you saw the Coulter piece last night?
I did.
What do you say?
I say you really mischaracterized my position.
Me or her?
You did.
I did.
She just responded to the misinformation you gave her.
All right, I'm the villain.
When you said that I said Mr. Snyder, the father of this killed Marine, had no case. I didn't say that. I didn't say that his intentional infliction of emotional distress claim has no merit and that the Supreme Court will find that way. I said it's going to be a close case, and I stand by that. It is not that he's got no case. But, Bill, let me tell you, he will have a tough battle on his hands when he goes to the U.S. Supreme Court.
But I think you mischaracterized my mischaracterizations because I was basically saying here's what the courts were asserting, and Ms. Megyn isn't against what the courts are saying. The crux of the matter, there are two crux of the matters. Number one, I don't think it should have been overturned on appeal, either does Coulter. We both believe that it is intentional infliction of emotional distress, no doubt about it. They went there to do that. And the fact that, and this was the crusher, that one of the judges wrote and the others concurred, that reasonable people can debate the worthiness, the appropriateness of the Westboro position. Are you nuts?
You mischaracterized that again.
No, I didn't. That's exactly what they said.
Judge Shedd, who is in the middle here, concurred with the decision that Mr. Snyder ought to lose. The other two joined in an opinion throwing the case out on First Amendment grounds. All Judge Shedd said was, I agree the case should get thrown out, but I would throw it out because there is no intentional infliction claim. The other two judges did not join in that decision, and that's not the basis on which it's going up to the Supreme Court.
No, it's not. But they didn't dissent.
They don't need to. He was concurring with their results.
It doesn't make any difference. The fact that Shedd said, I love that, Shedd said, that there's reasonable people can debate the appropriateness of the Westboro action. He's a nut.
No,
the guy's a nut. Get out of there.
You want me to explain his point to you?
No, I don't.
Well, but you throw him under the bus and you don't want to hear the defense.
I throw him under the bus because that's what he wrote.
Listen, the reason he is saying that,
some rationalization of what he wrote. He wrote that.
The reason he's saying it may not have been intentional infliction of emotional distress for this Westboro Baptist Church people to go outside of that funeral and protest is because to make that claim under the law, you have to prove conduct that is extreme and outrageous. But extreme and outrageous don't have the meaning that you and I understand them to have.
Look, Megyn,
legally.
Megyn,
legally, it means something else.
You're getting caught up in the minutia. And this is what you got brain damage going to law school.
You're wrong.
All I'm saying to you is this. He wrote, reasonable people can debate the appropriateness of the Westboro protest. I don't care about anything else. The fact that the man wrote the sentence, Shedd, says he is not qualified to be on the bench.
Do you really want judges determining what's appropriate speech? Is that what you want?
No,
is that what you want when protesters show up outside
case.
of abortion clinics?
Now,
you want the judges deciding what's appropriate and what's not?
Look, the other thing that you cited was that the Snyder family filed late for the court cost deal, which was another outrage. And the Snyder family then calls us, and the attorney says, no, we didn't. We didn't file late. And nobody purported that we did.
Oh, well, that's not true. Well, that's not true.
So
because the other side...
You're calling them a liar now?
No.
A liar?
No, you again have mischaracterized, Bill. Mr. Snyder's lawyer does not claim that nobody purported that they didn't file late. The other side filed a brief saying that they filed...
Let me read what the lawyer said to us, okay? Here's what he said to us, and let me get his name here. His name is Sean Summers.
I've spoken with Mr. Summers.
Okay, here's what he said, quote, on the factor on April 1st, Megyn Kelly said that Snyder filed his brief objecting to paying the court fees late. But Snyder's lawyer, Sean Summers, says that isn't true. And the court has never stated that the objections were late. This is Sean Summers, right to us. So don't tell me I'm miscategorizing. I'm quoting. I quoted the Sheds thing,
then you added,
and I quoted Summers'
Then
thing.
you added that nobody had ever alleged to the contrary, and you're wrong. What happened in the case was they filed objections to the costs that the other side was seeking, which are granted in 99.99% of cases. They're always granted on appeal. In this case, he filed an objection, and the other side responded saying, your objection is too late, all right? So the court then asked for a response. The other side argued still they're out of time, and Mr. Snyder's lawyer never contested that. He never came back and said, I'm not late.
All I know is that Sean Summers told us that he didn't file late, and the court has never stated
that's fine.
The objections
That's
were late.
fine. He says he wasn't late. The other side says he was late. The rule, I have to tell you, was not clear. I called the court to ask them what they say. They don't answer these types of questions.
Oh, they don't answer. Okay. Now, when it goes to the Supreme Court in October, all right, Coulter is saying this is the only thing that you and Coulter agree on, that it's really a close call. That the Supreme Court is going to have to judge freedom of speech claims against the damage that this group does consistently at Westboro, which will be able to be proven.
Right.
You can prove that they do damage to people who are grieving military families. So, again, Coulter says clear the court should rule in favor of the family. Are you saying the court should rule in favor of the church?
I'm saying it's going to be a close case.
But
I'm not going to predict.
What should they do?
I'm not going to predict that, Bill.
What would you do if you were a justice?
I'm not going to predict that.
What would you do if you were a justice?
I'm not going to go that far. I'm just not going to go that far because this is going to be an ongoing case. We're going to cover it here at Fox. I'm not going to predict that. But what I can tell you is the argument that these people at the Westboro Baptist Church has, it's not an unreasonable one. You tell me, do you want the Supreme Court ruling? We cannot have protesters who are shouting vile things even within 1,000 feet of an event. If you rule that, then there will be no more protests outside of abortion clinics. Do you want that, Bill?
But you're not going to tell me what you would do.
Do you want that?
You're not going to tell me what you would do. How you would rule.
You're not going to tell me what you want. Do you understand?
No, I would rule. I would rule for the Snyder family.
The implications on free speech that this case has? It has serious, serious implications. People gathered 1,000 feet away from the funeral. It was disgusting. But we have a First Amendment that allows you to say disgusting things in this country.
I got to go, and you have to take a break too. You got to pay your salary, which is enormous. But I'll tell you, words matter.
Not as enormous as yours.
And well, nobody's is. But if I were Supreme Court Justice, I rule in favor of the Snyder family because words matter and there is damage being done here.
I think they'll find
Megyn Kelly, everybody. When we come right back.
Well, that was interesting. See what I mean? It was like The Factor, only it was on America Live. And if you would like to see round 2 of that debate, you can tonight, all over again on The O'Reilly Factor.